everyone, welcome back to the second take recording today. My name's Elly and this is Leaf Yarns, and I'm coming to you from the glorious Exeter, which is all up there, here in Devon, in England. I am the host of Leaf Yarns podcast and the indie dyer behind Leaf Yarns and the designer behind Leaf Yarns Designs. Makes me very happy being able to say all that. Okay, so I might trip over myself today because I've already recorded this whole episode once and went to press stop recording and realised I pressed record, not standby. So I recorded about a 40-minute episode earlier on and stood up, felt like a complete fool, and went and had a cup of tea with the dogs and Neve in the garden. So I've come back having drunk my cup of tea and had some fresh air and sunshine because it's lovely and sunny today. It's about 14 degrees at the moment, which makes a lovely change from last week. And yeah, I have a bit to talk to you about today. I have got some new stuff. I won't say stash acquisition because it's not yarn. It does improve my knitting life tremendously, but it isn't yarn. And I have some knitting. I have some future plans. I have a tiny bit of spinning to show you, and then I have some shop talk for you. So without further ado, let's crack on. Now, I am going to be hosting a CAL starting from the 1st of March until the 1st of May. You can knit any one of my patterns that are available on Ravelry, or use any yarns that you have bought from me. So there are hats, etc., and there are different weights yarns that I've done over the past. There will be giveaways. There will be patterns and yarns. If you would like to contribute, you know, as a prize or whatever, that would be mostly appreciated. If not, fair play. So yes, I will talk more about that in next week's episode when we're in the final day's rundown. But like I said, it can be any pattern by me or any yarn by me over the last sort of 6 years. That's fine. So, let's see. It is episode 10. Today is Thursday the 21st. I shouldn't forget really, I've just done that. Of February 2019. So, knitting today. I have got 3 projects and 1 project I've just cast on, but I'm not going to show you that one until next week because it's a test knit and I want to get a bit more done so I can show you in detail. All I've done is a cast on and 1 row. And I feel a bit silly showing that to you. So, you'll have to excuse me. I realised since getting this shiny, spangly new velvet chair for my office craft area, I swivel. I'm a chair swiveler, people. So, first things first. My Find Your Fade. I am so much in love with this. I want to knit the second one from blacks through to grey. Going through, you know, the blackest black through charcoal and dark grey and light grey and silver and, yes, preferably with some sparkle in there. So, this is the Find Your Fade by Andrea Mowry. If you haven't heard of it, where have you been? I am absolutely in love with this project. So if you remember last week, I had got to here, hence the stitch marker, my beautiful pearl. And I have done the next section, so the garter section. So this top colour here is Transformers by No Makers. And I'm just about to go on and do the lace section, which is like this, down here, but this bit here. So it's absolutely stunning. I am, oh, it's gone all wibbly. It's not actually wibbly, it's just the way I'm holding it. I have got past the point where you continue increasing on both sides. I'm just increasing on this side here now. So if I arrange something, see? It's not spread out. I'm not going to spread it all out, it'll all come off the needles. But all my yarns I've chosen for this project have got purple in them. including the silvery one. So this one's by Vine, and it's also got purpley mauve in it. And then there's this one, and there's that one, and there's that one. So I am on the 5th colour, and I have 2 more left, sorry, after this one. So next is Vine in Moonlight. Is it Moonlight? No, Poe. The one just before was Moonlight. So it's Vine Yarns. One for older ones in Poe. And then it is Third Vault Yarns. Third Vault Yarns and her companion 4-ply in Inara. I really want to get this finished so I can start wearing it before it gets too warm. Not that that'll stop me, because I should just wear it over a dress. Or in the evenings. Or around the house, because I'm a fool. But I love it. I love it so much. I love the detailing down the middle, the spine. Can you see how pretty that is? Isn't that lovely? And all these lace bits are so simple, yet effective. Oh, I love it. So there we go. It has been an absolute joy working on this, and I cannot wait to do the next one. You can see it's huge. I'm holding it by the needle, so I'm not actually holding it tip to tip. This is going to be enormous when I block it. I have only got 2 yoga mats that I use for blocking. I have a feeling I'm going to need a 3rd, because when I spread this out properly on an extended needle, it already stretches the whole width of my bed, which is a king size. But we shall see. It may be that I have to fudge bits of it to be pinned or whatever. But I have blocking wires, so I will make do and see. I'm knitting this on the needles that it says in the pattern, so 3.75s. I'm not so fussed about gauge. I did get gauge because I was very fortunate. I didn't swatch. I was naughty. But because it's such a ginormous shawl, 1 stitch an inch isn't going to make that much of a difference when it's blocked. It's still going to be ginormous. And like I said, I really want to knit a 2nd one. So there we go. And that is the Find Your Fade by Andrea Mowry. And it's living my gorgeous project bag that my friend Lucy made me. Lucy needs to knit. Is it Lucy needs to knit? Can't remember. Her name's Lucy. She used to make bags and have an Etsy shop. But yes. She doesn't make project bags anymore. So, my next project is also an Andrea Mowry project. I'm a massive fan of her stuff now, and I have at least 10 items of hers in my queue that I want to make, and I will make them all. So the next one is living in my Downton Abbey bag, which is from Slip Stitch Studios. And it is the Oxbow cardigan, which is this beauty here. Now again, I want to knit another one of these in a very similar shade to this one on the cover. A nice grey. Or maybe a charcoal. Probably a charcoal, because charcoal goes with black and grey and is less of a stark contrast. So I am 2 inches away from the next section, which is the yoke shaping and things. The yarn I'm using, let me get my tag. Where's my tag? Where's my tag? Here's my tag. Because I've recorded twice, I put it to the side. It is Rico Designs Creative Melange Glitz Chunky, and it is virgin wool, acrylic and polyester. There we go. The colour of this one is 008 and the dye lot is 7113. Now I had to order 3 more balls because I had a sneaky suspicion I was going to run out, because when I triple checked my stash and my yarn count, they didn't match. So I think what's happened is when I moved into this house, a couple of balls got lost. But that's fine. I managed to track down 3 more. They're not the same dye lot, but they're close enough that I can't tell a difference. So I'm hoping that'll be okay. So, here we go. Now I'm mid-row. You'd think the second time recording I'd finished a row. No. So at the moment I am using my 8mm carbons, and the difference between working on 3.75 to 8mm is drastic enough that I have to take a few rows to readjust. But this is where I'm at now. See? So last week I was down here, so I'd just done a little bit more than the ribbing. Just done a minute. So I did that bit before, and now I've done all this. Isn't it beautiful? That stitch. I'm not going to tell you what the stitch is because it'll take the magic sauce. I'm absolutely in love with this, and I cannot wait to get it finished. Yeah. So it sort of sits here on me at the moment. That's the correct length. That blows up the camera. I do apologise. But yes, so I'm really looking. Oh, it's got a feather. Abby has a feather pillow. It means that by next week I want to be at least partway through the yoke. But we shall see. Because I've done the sleeves and I've done half the body. So all I've got to do is the top half of the body, so here, up, and then the neck cowl piece. So yeah, it shouldn't actually take me that long. I should actually have this done by now. I don't understand how I haven't, apart from I've been doing a lot of work. And I've not been very well. But we shall see. Isn't it beautiful? And I love the inside as well, which looks like a beautiful sort of textured rib. So there we go. Yes, so I will put that away nicely so it's ready for me to knit on again later. I'm very into purples and greens and blacks and greys, as you know. And if you don't know, or you're new to the podcast, hi! I love purples, greens, blacks and greys. They make me very happy. So, yes. That can left down there. Now, before I go on to my next project, which is another new cast on of a pattern that's been released, I need to talk about the one I'm wearing. So, this is the big red pullover. And I'm going to go back a bit so that I can show you without blowing out. This beauty. Now I had to do mine a little bit shorter than the pattern called for because I'm so petite in the torso. I'm only 5'2½". So on me this sits perfectly and it's fitted beautifully. Now I knit this pattern 2 gauge and I knit the smallest size. And I did shorter sleeves because I do a lot of, water work and everything with dyeing yarns. So this on me is the perfect length. And it's got raglan detailing on the front and on the back. And then it separates under the sleeve and goes outwards like this on both sides. And it's absolutely beautiful. I thoroughly enjoyed knitting this one. Now, I didn't block it so the neckline was round. I blocked it so that mine was more square because on me that looks more flattering. So it should be more like this. I love it like this. But that's just personal blocking. That's not, anything silly. So I used deep moss in my merino nylon for the green. And then this purple is Miss Bab's Cosmic Base in the Lurch colourway. Now I used just over, I want to say 1/3 skeins of the main colour and about half a skein of the contrast colour, and it's all fingering weight yarns. I have detailed all the project notes on Ravelry, weights, everything, yarn amounts, the lot, the modifications that I did, including the fact that when I reached here, so where the raglan shaping finishes, I went back and picked up the neck and did it then, because then there'd be less strain on the stitches. I like to do that with all my top-down jumpers if they have a separate neckline, because I don't like the strain of the whole garment weight on the neckline. I don't know if that would be helpful for you to try at home, or, you know, it's just me that likes to do it, but I found that it gives you a much neater pick-up line for the stitches if you pick them up earlier in the garment. There's less pull on them, which means there's less holes and less gaping, and it blocks nicer. It is a perfect fit for my shape. So Mina's patterns do fit very well if you're very petite. The smaller sizes fit beautifully. I got gauged perfectly, and yes, I've been waiting to share this properly with you for weeks. I had finished test knitting this right at the very beginning of January, and the pattern is released tomorrow. So it's the big red pullover and the little red pullover, and they'll be up on Ravelry tomorrow. If you follow me on Ravelry as a designer, you know, go and have a look. She will be posting on Instagram tomorrow, I'm sure, to say it's out. But yeah, ta-da! So, the other project that I just cast on as well is a Mina Phillip Knitting X-Pack Designs test knit. But like I said, I will show you that. I don't know if I said that this time or last time. Oh dear. I will show you that more detail next week when it's a bit further along than sort of yay much. So my next project I cast on because I got my pre-order through from Isolde of the Laine magazine number 7. Now I know I butchered that, I'm really sorry. So it is this issue, number 7. And it has some beautiful patterns in here. I'm definitely knitting 2 of them. One of them I've already started, which is in here. And the other one is a guillet or a gillet type open vest that I want to knit as well, to throw on top of, you know, t-shirts and shirts and even other thin pieces like this. So the pattern I am knitting is the Nerea, and it's by Lerka, who is Fibertales Designs and Podcast. I love her podcast, and I'm so happy that she's got a beautiful son now. So I'm just trying to find the correct page because my marker fell out. So the Nerea is here. Now that's not a very good picture because it's on the seam, on the, you know, spine. So I will show you these ones instead. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can show you these pictures because there's no pattern reference to them. And isn't that model beautiful? But it's this detailing here that I fell in love with. So I had to learn 3 new techniques. I had to learn the Joe and Twisted cast on. I had to learn the linen stitch because I'd never done it before. Not, you know, through any deliberate means or whatever. I'd just not chosen a pattern to knit with it. And then I had to knit that fishtail pattern on the sleeves. Now I'm not going to tell you what it's called because that's secret sauce and you have to, you know, get the pattern. But I will tell you that I am using more Harriet Heathers, Juniper Moon Farm Harriet. This isn't Heathers, this is just the Harriet, in the 1001 colour, which is the charcoal. And I'm using, I cast on with carbons, but then I needed to swap, so I bought myself some new needles. They're higher, and they're 3.75s for US 5. And why oh why have I never bought these before? I have some higher sharps, 4.5mm lace circular needle, but I've never used the DPNs, and I'm sorry carbons, higher beat you. These are so smooth, they knit like silk. So let's see if I can show you. It's gonna fit, there we go. Look at that, isn't that lovely? And oh, they're beautiful to knit with this yarn. Now the yarn's 100% alpaca, so I know it'll stretch a little bit, that's fine. So this is the cuff, just this beautiful linen stitch, and then it's stocking out with this beautiful sort of fishtail detailing. Now isn't that stunning? So this goes up here around both sides of the neck and down here, and it's knit sideways. Love jumps and knit sideways. Sorry, I don't mean to fist bump. It's something I've picked up again recently because I'm around teenagers sometimes. So yes, I'm absolutely loving it. Now I knit this bit in a couple of hours. That includes the tutorials that I had to learn to do this stitch and this stitch and this stitch. Now I will be doing the German twisted cast on again. It's got a little bit of give to it, but it's very stiff, and it's not stiff, it's stable. Stable, that's the right word. I don't want to give the wrong impression. And then this beautiful linen stitch. I really, really want to knit a whole jumper or cardigan using linen stitch. You know, I've seen it before on various patterns and everything else, but I hadn't realised what a joy it is to knit. It's so quick and it's lovely, as is this. Now, this is quite fiddly, but the result makes it absolutely worth it. And I really want to knit this really quickly and get it done, because this is on top of my Make 9 for 2019. But I absolutely love it. Lecha or Fibertales, you've done a fantastic pattern for this. No wonder Laine magazine took your pattern in, so to speak. Isn't that stunning? So I want to get this bit finished, this half finished, in the next 2 weeks. I'm going to say I want to get this jumper finished. I want to say by the end of March. So that gives me 5 weeks. So I'm sure I can get it done in 5 weeks. So, oh, and look, because Goth Me has to have something a little bit Halloweeny all year round. Isn't that cute? Little witch's hat and pumpkin. Excuse the nails, dying hazard. But yes, my nails will be nicer next week. So there we go, and that is living in my Stitch Life bags, which is from Colorado, which is part of a collaboration that I bought, which was the project bag, a skein of yarn and a stitch marker. The skein of yarn was here. I've put it somewhere else. Hey ho, it's going to be a shawl anyway. So that is my last piece of knitting to show you. Well, project, not shop. Okay, so the I keep coming back to the test knit because it's on my mind, because I need to get cracking on it because I've only got a couple of weeks. But it is I'm doing the asymmetric hat. But yeah, I'll show you that next week. So spinning, I have done a little bit of spinning this week, and I spun for 40 minutes in the park the other day with Neve and Kira and Neve's friend. It was a bit drizzly, so I was taking a risk, but I did stop when it actually started properly raining. So I'm spinning on my Turkish spindle. So there is the underneath side. So originally I was just on this purple mixed in with the black, and since then I've done some turquoise and I'm onto the pink. This is the row lag on it, and there is it on the Turkish spindle. Isn't it pretty? Well, it's losing its focus. I'll block my face. There we go. Now both of these were a present from Abby for Christmas. So it goes purple, pink, and then it goes back to the purple, and then it's got some sort of olivey colour, a little bit more pink, mauve, blue, green. I've got a whole bag of these. So I'm tempted, there were, let's see how many, 12. So I'm tempted to do 4 row lags on each cop, and get 3 cops and then do a traditional 3-ply and see how that goes. Because I'm not so great at plying when I spin on a spindle, I spin, let's see, which way do I spin? Anti-clockwise. But I can't figure out whether my wheel, when I apply, spins clockwise or anti-clockwise, because I haven't spun it. So by doing a 3-ply, I will know, as opposed to doing a Navajo ply, quicker. Because I spun a roll lag recently, a mini bat, and I plied it, and it wasn't until after I'd washed it and thwacked it and everything else, and it completely untwisted itself. The ply came out completely. And yes, I could spin it the other way, but because it was a Navajo ply, it could get really bunched up and go wrong, so I don't know. So what I'm doing, I'm spinning these 3 singles, and then I should apply them traditionally. And that way I will know within the first metre if I'm doing it the right way or the wrong way, because it'll either be an S or a Z, or it'll just fall apart, you know. So anyway, that is my little tree of spinning. I do love this so much. I need to make more time to do it. It's good for when I'm walking. Put that in my basket there. This basket here that you can see in shot, sorry, this is my remnants basket, but I've also in the top here got a cone of yarn that I've had for quite a number of years. I did have two, but one got so badly damaged because my boiler leaked on top of it, so I had all sorts of yuck in it. But this one, Neve would like me to make her a jumper out of, so I'm doing her the Little Faded, I think it's called. It's the So Faded jumper by Andrea Mowry. I've knit myself one, and she brought out a child's version, so I'm knitting one of them for this, for Neve, using this, because it's already marled, so it'll just be a plain jumper, but it'll be really pretty. So, Neve's very, very knit-worthy. And then here is my e-spinner, my Ashford e-spinner, and that vase there is my Granny Squares crochet blanket, just in case you're wondering what this stuff is, and obviously stash and pretty pictures and things. So, sorry, tangents, moving forwards. Right, so speaking of stash, things coming into the house. Laine magazine. Now I said earlier that there was another item in here that I wanted to knit, but that isn't the only reason why I buy it. I love this magazine for the photography, and that one there is part of the reason why. How beautiful a winter shot is that? I'm just going to show you another couple of beautiful ones that I absolutely adore, because they're the sort of photographs I like to take myself, so it's very inspiring. That one, it's so delicate. And then there is a sunset picture. Where is it? Is it? Yes, I have so many photos of sunsets, but that, doesn't it make your heart sing to see that? So, excuse my phone vibrating. There are several patterns in here that I want to make. Now I do want to make the Apres-cie, which is by Kiyomi Bergen, but I want to modify it because I love, love, love everything about it except for the neck. It's too raised up for me. So if I show you some pictures, there you go. You can see here the neck comes right up. So what I want to do is lower that down, still have exactly the same, but have it lower so it's here as a finish, not here as a finish. So I need to fill around the pattern, see if I can do that. And then the other one I'm definitely knitting this year to, you know, push my make 9 to make 11 or whatever, is the lemon. I know I butchered that. Lemon. That's this one. Is it going to focus on stitch detailing? I don't know. But the reason I really, really, really want to knit it is look at that back detailing. It's like a little hint of, woohoo, look at the pretty. It's lovely, and I shall wear that over loads of things, just as an extra layer to keep me warm. But I love this magazine so much. It's more than a magazine. You know, it's got different knickknacks you can buy. Knickknacks, such an old-fashioned word. Accessories for knitting. Knitting patterns, stories, interviews, places that you can go, you know, different yarns, recipes, lots and lots and lots of beautiful patterns. I'm not going to show you any more of the patterns, as much as I desperately want to. And the way the patterns are written in the back are fabulous. And then the advertisements themselves, a bit of free advertising here for people. They're laid out beautifully, clearly. The quality of the paper and card, you know, yes, it's £20, in my opinion, worth every penny. So this is Nordic Knit Life, a Laine magazine, number 7. The only one I'm missing is number 1. And one day I will have number 1, but I do intend to collect them all, because they are worth every penny. I love it. So that was a real treat. And I bought mine from Isolde. I get mine on pre-orders. And I recommend that you do the same. If you're in England, that is. I don't know of another Laine stockist in the UK. Okay, so it's sold in Scotland, which is technically not England, but it's only shipping across the border. It's not halfway across the world. So the other things I got in the post, because I've been doing a lot of designing and I've got 12 patterns I want to release this year. I've already released one. One of them I've delayed because some of the testings haven't finished yet, and so I'm going to release it in the autumn instead because it's a very wintry project, should we say. But the other ones I should just bump up and shift around. So I bought this, which is Knitting from the Top by Barbara G. Walker, because other people were talking about it on Instagram and I was very curious. So I've not looked too much at it, but it looks very helpful. It gives you instructions on how to design things without sucking eggs. So, you know, I'm going to read it like I would a novel, you know, a paperback book, and see what I can take away from it. I was just curious really to see what the fuss was about and to make sure that I'm doing things correct, you know, right, correct, whatever. We'll see. I'll let you know how it goes. Now the last thing I have, Abby bought for me, because we saw it on Instagram. You know, she's not a knitter. She wants desperately for me to teach her how to crochet, and she's had a little go at spinning. But we both saw this and laughed so much. Now, it's a project bag that I got from Knitting Goddess, and I subscribed to her mailing list that I'd know when it was going to be available. So I think it was, if you subscribed you got first dibs or something. But I got the smaller one, and it says this. I'm not going to say that out loud because I can't actually say it without giggling. But I do like a fingering yarn. Yeah. It's a linen bag, and it's got 6 pockets with a drawstring and a very, very nice toggle. Toggle. And then it's got 6 pockets. I'm going to turn it inside out because it's beautifully sewn and show you the pockets. So there's 2 small and 1 large on this side, and the same on the other side, but on the other side it's got this. So it's the Knitting Goddess with her website address, and I can't read backwards, so it says, I hold the potential to make beautiful things. And I truly believe that. You know, it's just lovely. The seaming on this is delightful. So it was a lovely gift, and thank you Knitting Goddess for making these. And she uses linen because it is less environmentally harsh processing than it is with cotton. I've not done research into it until a couple of years ago, I suppose. I hadn't even thought about it because in my head cotton's part of a flower. And it didn't really strike home until Fluffy Fibres, or Isabel, started talking about green life and thinking about the ethical issues, you know, behind what we use and things. Now, I don't like using acrylic yarn. I will do occasionally, but I try not to buy acrylic because it is plastic. But some things that I want to last and can be machine washed, like blankets, I will use acrylic, but only occasionally. Most of my stash, behind me, all this, I have 8 balls of acrylic in there. So this being linen, it will biodegrade, it takes less to process it, and I like that idea. So I have something beautiful that didn't cost the earth. So there we go. Now, that is all my acquisitions and knitting for this week, but I have knitted something else, but that's for the shop. So if you don't want to know anything about the Leaf Yarn shop stuff, then feel free to leave, and I will see you again next week. No hard feelings. Those of you that want to hang around and see the shop update stuff, thank you very much, and it makes my heart really warm and fuzzy. So, in the shop at the moment, I have got this one, which is butterfly plant. That's really blown out. Let's see if I can. Okay, so it's green, pink, purple, blue, teal. Or that way if you prefer. It doesn't matter which way up you knit them. So this one I did one way of warping, so it's a 5-striper, but I've now changed it so it's ever so slightly different. You shouldn't notice anything in it, it's just the little niggle in my head saying, but it does look the same. And it's no longer on superwash wool nylon, it's now on superwash merino nylon, and next month, so from March onwards, it will also be available on Blueface Leicester nylon. So that's those. And then I have iridescent, and it's the same, so it's now, oh, it's not focusing, there we go. So that's now available on merino nylon, and then BFL nylon from next month. And then I have bramble, which is absolutely beautiful. So that's also now available on merino nylon and BFL nylon from next month. And from the 1st of March, all my self-striping yarns will also be available on merino nylon and stellina, so sparkly yarn. Next month I will also have singles of yarn, so you know, single ply yarns, but they won't be self-striping, they will just be semi-solids and variegated and speckles, because I really enjoy using them for shawls and jumpers, so I figure why not add some to the shop. And then I have mini skeins as well, and for each of those colours I will be offering a mini skein, complimentary mini skein, as a separate listing. You know, for the sock yarn on its own, or the sock yarn and the mini skein. I was about to pick one up. But this week I have been really busy. I have got 6 new colourways. Now I've got to be really busy bee and get another 5 swatches knit by tomorrow evening for the shop update. If I don't, the ones I haven't managed to swatch this week will go into next week's shop update. I'm tempted to put 3 in this week and 3 in next week, but we shall see. So the first one I've made, or I've dyed, is Egg Hunt, which is this. It's been blown out, I do apologise. So it's yellow, pink, green and turquoise, and it knits up like so. Ta-da! I love this. Now this one's just for Easter, so you've got 9 weeks to get this one, and then it'll be retired until next year. So we've got until from this Friday until the Friday following Easter Sunday to buy this one. Now Easter Sunday is on the 21st of April. So this one will finish at the end of April. This one is available on merino nylon, BFL nylon and merino nylon and stellina. And then you can have a mini skein or not have a mini skein in one of these colourways of your choice, if you prefer, as well. So that's Egg Hunt. So that is definitely going to the shop tomorrow. And then I have balled up this one, ready to do the swatch for the next one. So this is China Plate. I'm thinking it's China Plate. I might call it China Blue, because it reminds me of Delftware and, you know, blue china. So this one is ever so subtle grey, 2 different shades of medium blue and then a darker blue, and it's ever so pretty. So this is the one that I'll be swatching up next, and that again is available on all 3 bases. The next one I have is this right one next? Yes. So this one's Dewy Leaves. Say that 3 times fast. Dewy Leaves. So this one, get them in the right colour order. Da-da-da. Because this one is still in its hank. This one is all different shades of leaves. Not spring leaves, autumn leaves, because it's still cold outside. But I love it. It's so pretty. So it's all the different sort of tonal shades of autumn brown. Isn't that beautiful? So there we go, so that's Dewy Leaves. And then we have Pheasant. So that was a 4-colour striper. Easter's 4-colour, China Blue's 4-striper. But I thought for a change I'd do a 3-striper. So I have got Pheasant for you. Now I absolutely love this and I couldn't wait to dye this one. I have a whole list of colourways I've sorted out to dye. This is Pheasant. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? I desperately want to knit a pair of socks myself in this one, and I will. So we've got a sort of rich tealy green, a burgundyish brown, and then this rich sort of orangey brown. And that is perfect pheasant for me in my head. And growing up in the countryside, I used to see these guys everywhere. There we go. In fact, we had one in the garden a few weeks ago, actually. The dogs were going mental, playing in the garden. I went outside and there was just pheasant just looking at them going, what do you want? And then it was like, no, I'm out of here, bye. So that's what put the idea in my head to dye a pheasant colourway. So there we go. I love this. So that's a 3-stripe, a 3-colour. And then we have Foliage, which is 4 shades of green. Go from darkest to dark to medium to light. But they're rich, warm greens. There's nothing cool about these colours. They're ever so beautiful. So I've got autumn leaves and fresh leaves. So this one's just called Foliage. And then finally for this, this week's dyeing, I did Delicate Sunset, which is these. Now CC, not CC Almond, CC, I can't remember your full Instagram name. This one reminded me of you because of the bright orangey yellow that's here. So yes, you've got orange, you've got ochre, and you've got ecru, which is dyed. It's not, if you see, it's got a slight hint of colour to it. And then this delicate sort of sandy grey. So there we go. So those are the 6 new colours. So 3 will be in the shop this week, I promise. And then the others will be in the shop next week. They are all available on merino nylon. And then from the 1st of March, they will all be available on BFL nylon and merino stellina nylon. All my self-striping yarns, all I'm doing from now on to save on inventory space, because as I said, this is a very small room, I'm going to be dyeing to order with a 2-week turnaround. Because at the moment I have got a lot of skeins of yarn in boxes and Tupperware tubs, big 60 and 80 litre tubs, storing all my yarns. And I realised that in order to not waste stock, I will just dye on demand. So they will all be pre-orders, and that way I know exactly what I've got in stock, what I need to dye, and it gives me a routine that I can stick to. So those are all the colourways for this week, and next week I will show you them swatched up so that you can see them knitted up if you like, before you buy them. The shop in Etsy, Leaf Yarns on Etsy, will be closing at the end of March. I was thinking till Easter, but I've realised that actually that's a long time away to be paying Etsy fees. And it's just so expensive on Etsy now, and the way they take their fees is ridiculous. It's mucked up my account and I'm not happy. So now I have my own .com, which is leafyarns.com. And it's hosted by Shopify, and it's a beautiful website. I'm really proud of it. So both links are in Linktree on Instagram. I will post a link in the show notes below and on Ravelry. You can find me there anyway. So go and have a look. Thank you. Okay, so that is it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed the show. I hope that you get excited about this cal that we're going to be running starting on the 1st of March. Like I said, more details next week. you know, and please do get in touch if you're, you know, happy to donate a prize. And I hope you all, you know, are well, enjoy your knitting and take care of yourselves. Bye for now.